Recording in progress.
गणानां त्वा गणपतिगुं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पदान शृण्वन्नोतिभिः दसादनं प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती धीनामविद्यवत् ओम गणेशाय नमः ओम सरस्वत्यै नमः ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम शुक्लांबरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये वागीशाद्या सुमनसः सर्वार्थानामुपक्रमे यं नत्वा कृतकृत्या स्युः तं नमामि गजाननं वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय कोटिसूर्यसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारंभं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। ओम सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलम् सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि सद्गुरुं तं नमामि। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्य केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। समस्त जन कल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं यस्य सन्निधि मात्रेण सर्वे शिष्याश्च सेवकाः कर्मक्षेत्रे प्रवर्तन्ते Chinmayam tam namamyaham. Chinmayam tam namamyaham. Let us do the Pratasmaranam. Please sit up straight. Pratasmarami hridisam spuradatmatattvam Satchit sukham paramaham gatim turiyam Yat swapna jagara sushuptam avaiti nityam Tad brahma nishkalamaham Nacha bhuta sangaha Pratarбhajami manasa vachasamagамyam Vacho vibhanti nikila yadanugrahena Yanneti neti vachanai nigama avochu Tam deva deva majamachyuta mahuragyam Praternamami tamasa paramarkavarnam Purnam sanatana padam Purushottamakhyan Yasmin nidam jagadasheshamasheshamurtau Rajvam bhujangamayiva Pratibhasitam vai Rajvam bhujangamayiva Pratibhasitam vai. Hari Om everybody. Welcome back to our weekly Vedanta classes. I know we are having inclement weather in some parts of the country. I appreciate you joining live. Let us first chant the first 16 verses of the Upadesha Saara. When we are chanting, the idea behind it is that the meaning and the summary should come to our mind as we go along. Karturagnaya prapyate palam karma kim param karma tajjadam krutimaho dadhau patana karanam phalamashashvatam gati nirodhakam ishwararpitam nechaya krutam chittashodhakam mukti sadhakam kaya vangmana karyamuttamam pujanam japas chintanam kramat jagata ishadhi yukta sevanam ashtamurti bhrat deva pujanam uttamastavat vucchamandatah chittajam japa dhyanamuttamam ajyadharaya srotasa samam sarala chintanam viralatah param veda bhavana sohamityasau bhavana vida pavani mata bhavashunya sat bhavasustiti bhavana balat bhaktiruttama hritstale mana swastata kriya bhakti yoga bodhascha nischitam Vayurodhana liyate mana jalapakshivat rodha sadhanam चित्तवायवश्चित्क्रियायुताः शाखयोर्द्वयी शक्तिमूलक लय विनाशने उभयरोदने लयगतं पुनर्भवति नो मृतम् प्राणबन्धनालीनमानसम् एकचिन्तनात् नाशमेत्यदः नष्टमानसो उत्कृष्टयोगिनः कृत्यमस्ति किं स्वस्तितं यतः दृश्यवारितं चित्तमात्मनः चित्वदर्शनं तत्वदर्शनं चित्वदर्शनं तत्वदर्शनं. Now, with these first 16 verses, Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi laid down the path of action, karma marga, bhakti marga, ashtanga yoga. Last week I summarized all of it in the last class. So please revisit that lecture on our Chinmaya Ramanam channel if you missed it. You will appreciate how nicely he has laid down the sequence for all of us sadhakas. Then we entered the Gnana Marga, the path of inquiry. Vichara Marga, the path of knowledge. Let us chant the 17th shloka. Manasam tu kim margane krute naiva manasam marga arjavat. Until now, the distinct feature in all the methods that were given prior to this, what were they? We need to purify the mind, chitta shuddhi, to focus the mind or develop concentration of the mind, chitta ekagrata. And the assumptions in all other paths was that we have a mind. In all other paths, we say our mind is restless. And in the path of knowledge, Vichara Marga, we started the inquiry on the nature of the mind. Manasam tu kim margane krute naiva manasam marga arjavat. Manasam tu kim. So the path of inquiry is that anveshanam, a quest or a vichara into what is that mind. What is the nature of this mind? We will know when we start to inquire. Naiva manasam. There is no such thing as mind. So this Gnana Marga, Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi said, is like a direct flight, direct path. Marga Arjavat. We started our inquiry last week. Is this mind absolutely real? In Vedanta, as I mentioned last week, we use a technique as to what is real. Since this topic is subtle, I would like all of you to pay close attention. It is constant, that which is constant in all three periods of time: past, present, and the future. That which cannot be negated. In Vedanta, we say abhadityatvam satyatvam. That which cannot be negated, that alone is real. When we apply this definition in our inquiry, we find that our mind is constantly changing. It is happy sometimes, it is sad sometimes, sometimes it is there in our waking state, sometimes it is not there, like in our deep sleep state. I cannot say for sure that it is existent or sat. I cannot say it is non-existent or asat. So in Vedanta we say sat asadhyam anirvachaniyam. This is an inexplicable phenomena because it is an illusion. It is transitory. It is neither real nor unreal. So we call it apparently real. And in Vedanta we use the term mithya. Then we decided to dig a little deeper. In order for the illusion to come, we know that there has to be a substratum. We learned that in our basic Vedanta modules. In the rope and the snake example, the snake cannot appear on the rope unless there is a rope as a substratum. So, not elaborating on that example, but when we shed the light on it, which is same as the light of knowledge, the snake is gone. And similarly, when I discover that my mind is mithya, that this is throwing a tantrum like a spoiled brat, causing me all sorts of emotions and commotions in my life. When I inquire what is this mind, vicharam nasahate, it disappears. Naiva manasam. So, before the inquiry, vichara, for the ignorant mind, the mind seems to be real. For the investigative mind, or for an inquiring mind, it seems to be not there. For an enlightened mind, for a gnani, it is definitely not there. I hope you got the distinction. Then we went further last week as to how to do this vichara. How do we do this inquiry? And in the next shloka, Vrittayastvaham vrittimashritaha Vrittayo mano vidyaham manah. Vrittayastvaham vrittimashritaah. Vrittayo mano vidyaham manah. Vrittayah aham vrittim ashritaah. We saw that last week. Vrittayah eva manah aham vrittim manah viddhi. Last week we saw the definition of mind according to Tattva Bodha. Sankalpa vikalpatmanah vikalpatmakaha manah. Meaning, when the thoughts are in a state of flux until our buddhi makes a decision, it is in that continuous flow. So mind is that continuous flow of thoughts. Thoughts of numerous objects. We call them vritti. A thought modification. I explained that to you in detail last week. Here, Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi gave us a technique to reduce these innumerable thoughts in our mind to two thoughts. They are called aham vritti, the I thought, and the idam vritti, the this thought. Aham vritti, I thought, idam vritti, this thought. The idam vritti keeps on changing depending on the objects in pursuit. Now, from innumerable thoughts in our mind, we have reduced and analyzing two thoughts. What are they? Aham vritti, idam vritti. Then Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi says, we need to inquire further. Each this thought, the idam vritti, depends on this aham vritti, the I thought. I know the mind is made up of one thought, that I am, I am. Only when that comes, I attach that to idam vritti. You know why? Because in my deep sleep, I know from my everyday experience, all of us, that there was no mind, there were no thoughts, there were no objects. Only upon waking, the first thought is, I am, I am. Then only the world of objects and beings around me are known. Now I have reduced this to one thought, that I thought, aham vritti. Now if I wish to solve the problem of the mind, I have to analyze the aham vritti. Now we started the self-inquiry into the I thought, the aham vritti. In the next verse, ahamayam kuto bhavati chinvata aipatatyaham nija vicharanam. Ahamayam kuto bhavati chinvata aipatatyaham nija vicharanam. Ayam aham kutaha bhavati iti chinvataha aham patati. Aham vritti patati. Idameva nija vicharanam. Now I begin my inquiry. Aham kuto bhavati. Where is this I thought coming from? Where is this born? Chinvataha, the one who inquires, is this I thought permanent? The I thought arises from somewhere. So we start to inquire its birthplace. The I thought goes into laya in my deep sleep. Laya means temporary cessation in the deep sleep. Where does it go? It appears and it disappears. Iti chinvataha, the one who inquires, aham patati. This aham vritti patati. That thought modification dies. That illusory ahankara dies. This Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi called it as nija vicharanam. That self-enquiry. We saw that last week. Aham karta iti ahankara. In Vedanta, the notion that I am the doer, aham karta, I am the enjoyer, aham bhokta. We know from our studies so far that this false identity is the cause, is the root cause for our downward spiral, downward trajectory. And that is how we have gotten sucked into this ocean of samsara. So this destruction of the ego, the manonasha, the destruction of the problematic aspect of the mind, the illusory mind is gone. So in that, moving on to the 20th verse, what happens when we lose our false identity? What happens when we lose our notional identity? We move to the 20th verse. Ahaminashabhat ahaminashabhajyahamahantaya ahaminashabhajyahamahantaya spurati hrutsvayam paramapurnasat spurati hrutsvayam paramapurnasat. ahami nasha bhaji, aham taya, spurati hrit swayam, parama purna sat. When that I thought dies, that aham vritti patati happens, what happens? It shines forth. What? Spurati hrit swayam. How does it shine? Aham taya. That I am, that abiding reality. This is pure existence. This is pure consciousness. This is Parama Purna Sat. Purna means full, complete. Parama means supreme. Sat means that existence, consciousness principle. Let me give you an example. Just like a water drop has its individuality, a drop of water. When that drop falls into the ocean, can it retain its identity? No. Once it falls, it becomes the ocean. When the drop loses its little notion, it becomes the ocean. Spurati hrit swayam. That which enlivens everything. Swayam spurati. We say that every morning. Spuradatma tattvam Satchit Sukham Paramahamsa Gatim Turiyam. It is of the nature of Swayam Prakasha, self-illuminating, Swayam Jyoti. That is Paramapurna Sat. That Vastu is Paramapurna Satvastu. Let me explain something here. See, when we are in a dream, this dream appears so real. As long as we are in that dream, let's say in the dream, you are having a bad dream, the tiger is chasing you, you are in the deep forest in the middle of it, and I have no idea how we end up in these type of dreams. You're running away, running and running away from that tiger. It seems so real. You can almost smell its bad breath ready to pounce on you. And thank God for that loud alarm. You woke up. There was no tiger. Everything, gone. We call this in Vedanta as Pratibhasika Satta, a relative reality, an illusory reality. However ridiculous it may appear to the waker, the dream appears to be very real to the dreamer, right? In the waking state that we are in right now, hopefully all of us are in that waking state, we call it what? Vyavaharika Satta, a transactional reality, an empirical reality. Can we consider that a long dream that we are in? And when we wake up to this absolute reality, the Paramartika Satta, that is Paramapurna Satta. It is not illusory, not empirical, but absolute reality. That alone is. That absolute is shown here in this verse. That Sakshatkara in Atma Bodha that we studied, Adi Shankaracharya ji says, Megha paye amshumaniva swayam prakashate hyatma megha paye amshuman iva. We know that cloud, megha, that cloud can never cover the sun. It seems or it appears as though it has covered it. But a wind blows away the cloud, but the sun is always shining. When that aham vritti goes away, that Atma shines forth. So according to Vedanta, we are ignorant of our own true nature, our true self. We call that ignorance as avidya, ajnana. Then we have developed this wrong notion as to who we truly are. And when that ignorance-born ego is gone, we say, ego is not my amigo, I have let it go. The pure self manifests itself. Our limitedness is gone. Our finitude is gone. The parichinnatva is gone. When that happens, we are not limited by time, space, or causation. That is Paramapurna Sat that is talked about in this verse. So, let me summarize so far. That's why I started with the 17th today. When I start to inquire, Manasam tu kim, the nature of the mind, in this analysis, I discover Naiva Manasam, and there is only Satvastu. But this mind appears sometime, and for those who realize there is no mind, Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi said, this path of inquiry, this Vichara Marga is Marga Arjavat, a direct flight. There is directness. This is the directness of this path. Then we talked about the Vrittayaha Manaha, the flow of thoughts, numerous thoughts. And then we reduced it to two thoughts, funneled it down to two thoughts, the I thought, the aham thought, and the idam thought. And the idam thought keeps on changing depending on the object that we pursue and depends on the aham thought to attach to it. And then when we inquire, aham kuto bhavati, the aham vritti patati, the ahankara drops dead. After that, ahaminasha bhat, when we start to inquire further, the illusory thing goes away. Because vicharam na sahate, it cannot stand the test of inquiry. So when this I thought dies, it shines forth. Spurati hrit swayam, shines forth. How does it shine? Aham, aham daya. I am, that absolute reality, that pure existence consciousness, that pure consciousness, that is Parama Purna Sat. Purna means full, complete. That's why we say Purnamadav Purnamidam, Purnat Purnamujachyate. Parama means supreme. Sat means that existence. We'll do one more shloka today. Idamaham padabhikyamandvaham. Idamaham padabhikyamandvaham. Ahamilinake pyalaya sattaya. Ahamilinake pyalaya sattaya. Idamaham padabhikyamandvaham. Ahamilinake pyalaya sattaya. Aham padabhikyam idam ahami linake api anvaham alaya sattaya spurati. See, this reality is indicated by aham. Aham padabhikyaham. This shines forth, complete. Parama means that supreme Sat, that existence. It is alaya, meaning it doesn't go into laya, never gets dissolved. We know our individual aham goes into laya, and total aham is pralaya. Alaya sattaya vibhati. When that ahankara, when that aham is dissolved, ahamilinake, it shines forth. Our little aham is jiva. The total is jagat. When does ahankara, when that it has that individuality, it has it with one thing or the other, our individuality. When I identify with my body, for example, I say I am a man or a woman. I say I am tall or short. I am fair or dark. When we start to peel these layers of onion, when you start to discover what is real, we need to go back into the source. That was the famous question that Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi used to ask. What is that? Who am I? Naan yaar. He used to say, whenever somebody asked a question, as to who is asking the question. And when you inquire this way, the question drops off most of the time. This methodology is also taught in the Upanishads called Neti Neti, not this, and you start to negate until you reach a point which cannot be negated. I'll stop here. We will see that next week. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramayah, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Asatoma Sadgamaya, Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat. May all be happy. May all be healthy. May all see auspiciousness. May none suffer. Om peace, peace, peace. Please stay back. Now I'll open it up for our collaboration, questions and comments. And you can unmute yourself